We spoke with Stephen O'Keefe about what he could help us with and what he thought of our ideas. So from the start, we'd gone to him with our plan, and then we got engineers involved and everything like that. The communication between us and that constant inviting us in to collaborate as well. We didn't feel like we didn't have a voice. We were always consulted on things. We were always invited in to have an opinion, or which is huge. And to just have that respect, living in a house, living in the same house that's being renovated, and to wake up and most days see a builder or a tradesperson and feel like you are actually respected and treated with dignity was huge. And I don't think that happens everywhere. So that was amazing to actually, and you didn't feel like you were in the way. You were always sort of, sometimes you wouldn't even know someone's there. You'll just hear something hammering away in the distance. It was really, the experience sort of exceeded expectations on how we were treated.
There was no surprises along the way, although the build inherently had surprises. There was never a stage where you'd see a major decision being made and we didn't know about it. It was well clear from the start that it was, when we started talking to Steve, that there would be challenges with this site, and there would be challenges with this kind of build. It wasn't just a flat paddock build, greenfield site that would just be, all the challenges would be straightforward. So we knew there would be a few, and we discussed them along the way, so that when we hit those points, we knew in advance we had an approach and we had a desired outcome. So I guess that was one of the great things. That along the way, though, there was a few things that I think the builders did above and beyond that made our life better. That you could be comfortable saying that they were unnecessary for them to provide. I guess we really liked the spot, so we wanted to make it work with the addition that we had in our mind. And I guess with the hardest challenge of that was the site, that we had to get the engineering, and we had to get a builder who wanted to take on an interesting project.
I think that we didn't know if it was even possible. Because the house is on a hill, and we had a sort of a budget we wanted to keep with, we weren't sure whether it was even possible that we would be able to do what we wanted. So we wanted to keep the floor plan continuing out on the same level. So to do that meant that we had to cut back a lot of the existing.
We're always trying to improve ourselves, and what we do in our processes, and how we deliver your expectations. What do you think we could have done better?
It's really hard to say, because it was it's one of those things that is inherently going to have hiccups around the place. So I suppose the time was probably the only thing I can think of, but that's also out of a lot of people's control too. So and I think that sort of, when you're living in a house, things just drag on as well, more than if you didn't live in the same house. So
if you could work out how to do a job without any dust, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
There are the things I think we learn along the way. There's some things that you sort of wish you'd have known at the start that you could have done differently. But then when you backtrack those things, there's not a lot of them that you think, well, that was just poor organisation, or that was just a poor effort. So there wasn't, and as Alana has already touched on, the professionalism brought by the builders was of a really high class. So you can't question that. And it was quite a challenge to get that side through. So I guess it was at matching the idea of using the site with the price that Alana has already touched on. That was being able to achieve that was the really challenging part. And then I guess also retaining, we didn't want to have something that was totally different to the rest of the house. Although we knew that roof lines would be different, we knew that there'd be, windows would be different, we still wanted to have the same sort of feel. And that's, I think, what we've sort of achieved.
There's so much natural light in the house now, which before it was quite a dark old house. The heating's great. It's, you know, quiet. It's amazing. Like, you wake up in the morning and look out into the gum tree canopy. So I think that's, you know, a pretty priceless view as well. So the whole thing's just worked out so well, and yeah, we just, to live in it is really easy, and the flow between the old and the new house is really good as well. So we don't feel like we're separate from that either. So yeah.
I think when I think back to when we got the house, to about 10 years ago now, there was a few features of the house that were pretty dated, and to have the location, which is what we really liked, and be able to transform it into the house that we really wanted. It's been a sort of long and winding road, and we've learned a lot during the process, but to now have it sort of just how we want it, it's fantastic. It's great to have been able to, you know, partner up with all the different people along the way, and to be able to achieve this is just awesome.